Coming up on News 2, post-inauguration highlights from St. John for Governor Kenneth Mapp and Osbert Potter, Lieutenant Governor. Also, VI Elections Board members meet on St. Thomas. What was on the agenda? Plus, many lend a hand to clean up this area while sending a positive message to the world. Meanwhile, residents ask who and why would anyone vandalize this historic site? Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gaman Singh. Topic on Newscast: the beginning of the year usually means a fresh start, but not for the St. Thomas St. John Election Board. Their first meeting on Wednesday was marked with energetic arguments surrounding new policies, but in particular, one new rule for such board meetings left one new board member left out. News 2's April Knight has details.
It was her first election board meeting, but newly elected board member Diane McGrath sat alone for some of it. The new St. Thomas board, which met for the first time Wednesday, voted to ban any board member with a pending lawsuit against the board from any executive session. The motion is supposed to prevent the member who's party to the lawsuit from learning details of the same lawsuit, which could be discussed in executive sessions. According to member Lydia Hendricks, there's no surefire way of preventing legal matters from popping up, even when they're not on the executive session agenda.
You can come back in when we finish with this, then you go back outside again, and then you can come back in again when we're ready to talk about something else. I have a problem with that.
McGrath protested. She was a critic of the election system before becoming a board member and has a lawsuit pending in court. She said she should have been in that day's executive session where board members met by phone with the Election Assistance Commission regarding the audit of how the system used federal funds.
If it has to do with EAC or other issues, as an elected board member, I see no reason why I should be excluded from any executive session.
The new policy is a legal precaution, but it means any board member who finds fault in the election system cannot take the matter to court without getting kicked out of executive sessions. Board Chairman Arturo Watlington says members who disagree with this St. Thomas board decision have other options.
A board member who is aggrieved by any action of a district board has the ability to appeal to the joint board, and if not given the remedies that the individual feels is sufficient or just, you then take it to a court of law.
For some, it's a catch-22. McGrath said she's not giving up. She's seeking legal advice on the issue. Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
Other newly elected board members include Carla Joseph and Ivy Moses. The new board also elected new officers. Arturo Watlington remains the chairman. Lydia Hendricks is the new vice chairman, while Alicia Wells is the new secretary. Well, post-inauguration events continued Wednesday on St. John for Governor Kenneth Mapp and Osbert Potter, Lieutenant Governor, into the night. The day began with the ecumenical service, then the post-inaugural program at the Frank Powell Park was held in Cruz Bay, where the team reiterated that they have everyone's interests at heart and the administration will pursue excellence.
As we work in putting a cabinet together and a team of highly qualified individuals that know their business and know their profession, that as we go through this process, we're doing it in a manner to ensure that the work that was required, that we connect and align the skill and the capacity of the individuals.
And we are going to be extremely cognizant of your needs. We are going to be among you. We are going to be able to feel and understand what you feel. And by feeling and understanding what you feel, we know what we then have to do. My commitment to you is that I'm going to work extremely hard on your behalf. That is my personal commitment to you.
And now it's time for the swearing of the 31st legislature. Activities are already planned for this weekend. On Sunday, January 11th, a pre-swearing-in church service is scheduled for 2 p.m. at the Memorial Moravian Church on St. Thomas. Activities will then move to St. John, where there will be a pre-swearing-in meet and greet at the Franklin Powell Park in Cruz Bay. Members of the 31st legislature will take the oath of office in a swearing-in ceremony, and that's scheduled for 10 a.m. Monday at the David Monsanto Bandstand in Emancipation Gardens, St. Thomas. The organization of the body is scheduled for 11:15 a.m. in the Earl B. Otley Legislative Hall on Wednesday, January 14th. A post-swearing-in church service is scheduled for 4 p.m. at the St. Anne's Catholic Church at Estate Barron Spot on St. Croix. In other news, a federal grand jury has returned a 38-count indictment charging former Virgin Islands National Guard Major Sherry May Morales, 54 years of age, with theft of public money, wire fraud, and false statements. Morales appeared before U.S. Magistrate Judge Ruth Miller and entered a plea of not guilty on Wednesday. She was released on an unsecured $25,000 bond. According to the indictment, from 2010 until 2011, Morales was employed as a full-time employee with the Virgin Islands National Guard on St. Croix. At the same time, Morales also held a full-time contract position with the Military Personnel Services Corporation. The indictment alleges that Morales submitted timesheets to both the MPSC and VI National Guard for the same 40-hour work weeks over a period of 14 months. Now, if convicted, Morales faces up to 20 years in federal prison. Well, 25 years in prison and a lifetime of supervised release, and that's what District Court Judge Curtis Gomez gave to 37-year-old Raheem Croix of St. Thomas for production of child pornography. Croix was arrested on January 21st, 2014, as we reported, by Homeland Security and charged with enticing and coercing a minor to engage in sexual activity through the use of facility of interstate commerce. Croix escaped Bureau of Corrections custody 2 days later and was rearrested the following month after an aggressive manhunt. He also got 60 months in prison for that escape. Both sentences are expected to run concurrently. The Law Enforcement Planning Commission office in Niski Center, St. Thomas, this afternoon was closed due to problems associated with fluctuating electrical power. They say necessary office equipment and the air conditioning system were affected. Representatives say normal services are expected to resume on Friday. Now, in the meantime, LEPC Director Victor Brown requests that all deliveries of correspondence be placed in the slot at the bottom of the door to be addressed tomorrow. Now, turn our attention overseas. Tensions are high across France as the manhunt intensifies for 2 gunmen accused of murdering 12 people, including 2 police officers at a newspaper office in Paris. Attorney General Eric Holder travels to Paris next week to attend a meeting that addresses terrorist threats, foreign fighters, and countering violent extremism. Alfonso Van Marsh has the latest from London.
Heavily armed security teams searched villages from house to house in northeast France after 2 men resembling the terror suspects robbed a nearby gas station. Authorities are concerned that fugitive brothers Saeed and Sharif Kouachi will attack again. They are accused of massacring 12 people at the Paris offices of Charlie Hebdo, a satirical newspaper that often poked fun at Islam and other religions. A third suspect, an 18-year-old, surrendered to police. Witnesses say the gunmen claimed allegiance to al-Qaeda in Yemen during the attack.
The individual probably received training, and we saw that yesterday in the military style, the commando style attack, very sophisticated.
It was a day of national mourning across France. At noon, a moment of silence was observed outside Notre Dame Cathedral and throughout Paris. Near the shooting scene, people are placing flowers and wine at a makeshift memorial. Many are still stunned.
Taking the metro, waking up this morning, it's been totally silent. The most noise I've heard today has been from the bells.
In the evening, the lights at the Eiffel Tower were turned off for 5 minutes in tribute to the victims. Alfonso Van Marsh, CBS News.
Meanwhile, keeping our eye on the economy, the number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits stayed below 300,000 for the 17th straight week, and it's a sign of the improving job market. Samsung is in a slump. The South Korean electronics company estimates a nearly 40% drop in the profits for the end of last year. Sales of Samsung smartphones have struggled against Apple iPhones and low-cost competitors in China and India. A Nike sneaker designer says the self-lacing Nike Air Max sneakers from Back to the Future Part 2 could hit store shelves by the end of this year. Nike auctioned off 1,500 pairs of the shoe back in 2011. to raise money for the Michael J. Fox Foundation. Here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all up. The Dow 323, Nasdaq 85, S&P 36. Coming up on News 2, many lend a hand to clean up this area, and they hope to send a positive message to the world, a positive one. Meanwhile, residents are asking who and why would anyone vandalize this historic site? The St. Croix community was outraged by the vandalism discovered earlier this week at the Point Udall monument, but local groups banded together to clean up the site that's a regular attraction for both locals and visitors. News2's Erica Parsons has more.
Sandy, today Point Udall was back to normal with no cleanup crews in sight and almost all traces of the vandalism from a few days ago gone, but some places it's still visible. The benches and stone walls surrounding the Point Udall monument have been scrubbed. Groups of volunteers spent more than 2 days trying to repair what vandals did to the popular tourist attraction. On Thursday, visitors to the area took in the beauty of the United States' easternmost point, oblivious to the fact that only a few hours before, racially charged graffiti targeting Caucasians had been sprayed all over the area.
I'm just sightseeing around the island for the day, and I ended up at Udall's Point, which is quite a historic and very important point on St. Croix.
Dr. Max Hilaire is visiting the territory and hopped over to St. Croix from St. Thomas to take in some of the sights. He read local reports of the vandalism and cleanup, and that fueled his desire to visit the site.
2 reasons. One, the curiosity of why someone would actually do such a thing, and then second, the beauty of this place. I mean, it's just unspoiled natural beauty.
According to reports, East End residents discovered the mischief early Tuesday, and pictures were posted to social media. That sparked a movement with community groups who banded together to remove all traces of the offensive words and spray paintings throughout the area.
I think it's sad that we still have such elements in the world. Whoever did it, I think if he or she's caught, should be punished severely. And in a world where we are trying to advocate tolerance and, just unity and globalism, and for somebody to do such a thing is really absolutely despicable.
The contents of this trash bin with a police caution tape and empty can of graffiti remover is a reminder of the defacing that was visible only a few days ago. But it also represents the good that comes through when everyone works together. Erica Parsons, News 2.
The photos shown in the story are courtesy of Vivid Streaming. The program director for the internet radio station, along with a group of student volunteers, spearheaded the cleanup effort along with local firefighters. Well, beginning Monday, January 12th, the Coral Bay Community Council will be holding regular weekly forums through the month of March, and they're inviting the public to participate in the meetings that will feature different topics each session. Organizers say the council will talk about the progress of different grant-funded projects, and they'll want the community's input. They will be inviting lawmakers and members of the new administration to offer input as well as listen to the community concerns. The first meeting will focus on the council's draft project and mission agenda for 2015. The Coral Bay Solid Waste Management Plan will also be on that agenda, as well as an update on NOAA-funded project to remove derelict vessels from Coral Bay Harbor. All meetings will be held at the Johns Foley Learning Center. All avid fishermen will be tuning in 11 p.m. tonight to the Animal Planet television, not just because their newest show, Alaska Battle of the Bay, premieres, but because there will be a familiar face. St. John resident Kip Crew has worked on commercial crab fishing boats in Alaskan waters for 20 years. Now you can expect on the show lots of drama during the 6-week salmon run on Bristol Bay in the Bering Sea. The show centers on 5 boats battling for the best catch in choppy seas and close quarters. Crew is preparing his own sailboat, Equinox, for charter work in Coral Bay. The 9-year resident on St. John lives there with his wife and daughter. The St. Croix Environmental Association is encouraging you to start the year off right with a hike they have planned. You can mark this on your calendar, Sunday, January 11th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The guide will be Ras Lumumba, he will be sharing some natural and cultural history knowledge as they hike through pasture and forest. You should walk with some water, snacks, cameras, and comfortable shoes. You can meet across the road from the entrance to Carambola Golf Course. That's at 9 a.m. You can call 773-1989 for more information. Well, as we reported, spring semester classes at the University of the Virgin Islands are scheduled to begin next Monday, January 12th. However, a week of orientation activities is planned for new students enrolling on both campuses. Now, the fun started from Wednesday and continues through Saturday, January 10th. A mix and mingle was held Wednesday evening in the Administration and Conference Center, first floor of the conference room on St. Thomas. Students enjoyed, as you can see, there's some entertainment this morning. The Student Organization Fair was held in UVI's Ralph Pywanski Library. Now, over on the Albert Sheen campus of St. Croix, an official welcome by UVI president kicked off earlier this evening at 6 p.m. in the Great Hall. Also with a mix and mingle on the Trellis Walkway, a clubs and organization day is on tap for Friday, 10:30 a.m. in the Great Hall. McDonald's is kicking off an exciting book program, and they are inviting everyone to their Happy Meal book program at 10 a.m. Friday at the McDonald's Villa Lorraine restaurant. McDonald's will be providing hundreds of books to families through its Happy Meals to support children's literacy and the joy of reading. Program activities will include the bookmobile at restaurants and public readings by local celebrities and authors. McDonald's representatives will be presenting a $500 check to the Virgin Islands Public Library System so they may purchase more children's books written by local authors. If you are a St. Croix resident, 16 years and older, and interested in earning your high school diploma, you are invited to register for adult secondary evening classes at the St. Croix Educational Complex tonight. It's going on until 9 p.m. and it's the last night. This registration began on Monday. Classes are set to begin on Monday, January 12th. For more information on the evening diploma program at the Educational Complex, you can call 778-2036 in the evening or the Adult Education Classes Center at 713-9118 in the daytime. Well, be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.